I'm so tired, I don't want to do nothing. I want to rest for 1 week. My hips are sore, my arms are sore, my sides are sore. I'm going to take a rest now. That's my 4th fight in 1 year.
The Thrilla in Manila was one of biggest and toughest fights in boxing history. While Muhammad Ali thought that he'd easily go through Frazier, little did he know that it would turn out to be one of the most brutal fights of all time.
It will be a killer and a chiller and a thriller when I get the gorilla in Manila.
Manila wasn't about the heavyweight championship of the world. There was something much more important at stake. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier were fighting for the heavyweight championship of each other. They both understood that whoever won this fight, well, that's who history was going to recognize as the greater fighter.
Smiling, and Ali talks to him.
I don't believe anybody thought that Joe would win. I was just kind of hoping that Joe wouldn't get embarrassed, but certainly nobody expected the great fight we got.
Come on, gorilla, we in Manila. It says there will be a killer and a thriller and a chiller when I get the gorilla in Manila.
Yeah, the fight was surrealistic because it was 10 o'clock in the morning. And 10 o'clock in the morning in Manila is an indescribable time. First of all, the sun has just come up, and the stickiness of the night is still there, but cooked by the sun. So what you got is boiling water for atmosphere.
It was just running down. I was sitting like this. It was so intensely hot. I've never felt heat like that before in my life. Not a breath of air. Nothing. And that was sitting there. Can you imagine being in the ring? I don't know how they did it.
The early rounds belonged to Ali. He outboxed Frazier, landing sharp, clean blows and staggered him several times. Still, Frazier kept coming forward, and in the middle rounds, the tide turned.
Somehow, in the middle rounds, Frazier comes through. Frazier starts wailing, he cuts off the ring, he gets him on the ropes. He was killing Ali.
Closest to life and death I've ever seen. Two equally matched fighters at the top of their form with an intense competitive edge on each other, if not dislike, actual hatred, if you will. It didn't seem that you could survive that.
Now Ali was tiring, and Frazier rocked him with thunderous blows. Slowly, Ali's arms came down as Frazier fought back relentlessly, thrashing the champion against the ropes, pounding away to bring him down. Eddie Futch, Frazier's trainer, said, after the 11th round, Joe's eyes swole and puff up, which impaired his vision. At that point, instead of being low and close, he had to stand up and back off in order to see with just one eye. And Ali was a great opportunist, so he took advantage of the situation by stepping up the attack and landing those big right hands. The 13th round was very bad, but I thought maybe Ali had punched himself out. That's the reason I let Joe go out for the 14th round. But he kept getting get with the right hand. His left eye was completely closed, his right eye was also closing. I didn't want Joe's brains getting scrambled, so I decided to stop it.
Round 14 was the closest I've seen somebody come to killing somebody. He was very close to killing him. Very close. He was hitting him straight right hands with a left jab in front, open.
Ali had regained his edge over Frazier. It was only a question of whether he could last.
It looked like Ali was going to have to quit in the corner because he was getting so beat up. He said, I feel like I'm dying. This must be what death feels like.
Frazier could not see, and Ali knew what he had to do to win, and he could keep wailing away at will with that jab in his eyes.
Joe came back to the corner at the end of the 14th round, and I said, it's all over, Joe.
He said, you can't see, and I know it. I said, I can visualize it. Don't worry about it. He said, no. So I said, okay. Shut it down.
Ali's corner man recalled. After the 14th round, Ali came back to the corner and told us, cut him off. That's how tired he was. He wanted to cut his gloves off, and Angelo ignored him. He started wiping Ali's face, getting him ready for the final round. I don't know if Ali would have gone out the last round or not. Ali's not a quitter. He'd never quit, but I've never seen him exhausted like that before. Then somebody looked across the ring and saw Frazier's trainer call the ref over. Kilroy, who was Ali's manager, started shouting, it's over, it's over. And the feeling I had then, I can't express it.
It's all over.
Dundee, I think it was, who pointed over there and said, they're cutting the gloves, cutting the gloves. And Ali got up and looked and went right down to the ground. He couldn't stand up.
It was a climax to Ali's career, and he collapsed right on the canvas at that point. He had nothing left to give.
Ali's longtime ring doctor said Ali was badly beaten up. There were welts and bruises all over his body and huge hematomas over both hips, collections of blood where Frazier had hit up the hip sockets. His face was puffy. Later, he said that the fight was the closest thing to death he knew of. It took about 24 hours for his brain to recuperate, for his thought processes to become complete, and the effects on the rest of his body lasted for weeks. It was the toughest fight I've ever seen in my life.
I think he fought a good fight. It was close during the last round. It was close. Couldn't win either way, I heard. And it was my rally that pulled it out, and the constant pounding that finally took effect. I'm so tired, I don't want to do nothing. I want to rest for 1 week. My hips are sore, my arms are sore, my sides are sore. I'm going to take a rest now. That's my 4th fight in 1 year.